I just did something really exciting. I reserved a space to have my own event at. It's going to be at the Hungry Dragon in Murrieta, California. So if you're interested and in the area, feel free to come by. It's going to be a free event. I did have to pay to reserve it, so if you bring $5, I'd be happy to take it. But no pressure. Today, we're gonna clean up the shop and answer some of your burning questions. Rob Kostelnik asks, what Mordheim faction would you recommend to a complete beginner? The Mordheim faction I started out with was Witch Hunters. And I think this is a really great faction to start out with because you don't really have to understand what any of it means. Like, chaos was very new to me. Basically, all you need to know is magic is bad in the eyes of witch hunters. And so you basically just want to kill everything. So you can be fresh to like the horrors of Mordheim, and you don't really need to understand it, and it's okay to be surprised by it and horrified by it because it's all going to be really new. Subpar asks, by the way, hey, nice to see you again. He asked what my favorite part about building terrain is, and I was thinking about this earlier this week actually, and I just remember seeing the cool play sets when I was a little kid and wishing I could afford them. Play sets that were like for the Bat Cave or whatever, and I basically I just wanted to build those because I couldn't figure out how to play with them. Mordheim is kind of like the ultimate version of that, in my opinion, because that's just so thematic. When I first got on YouTube, I loved the makerspace, and so I learned a lot about how to make things, but I never really had the money to make big projects. So being able to do all this from like trash popsicle sticks and dollar store products is a really cool and affordable way to make something ordinary look extraordinary. Phoenix Kings asked what got me into the hobby, and initially Critical Role kind of got me into the miniature hobby, but mostly YouTube did. Like I said in the previous answer, I always was a huge fan of the maker space on YouTube, but it was really like expensive to get wood and tools and stuff like that. So being able to do everything with a knife was really appealing because it's taking everything I know and shrinking it down. What got me into making though was Monster Bash. So this was my first Monster Bash with Monster Bash 3, and I pulled a bunch of cards. I was hoping I could build like a structure of some sort. When Monster Bash 3 came out, it was like the perfect time for me personally, because I really needed something creative in my life, and I didn't know that I needed that. Like I need to create something and think about something like more than like trying to make ends meet or whatever. I really drown during moments like that in my life. So having something to put my energy towards that's great and I can hold on to later, it's kind of like the perfect gift to myself, if that makes sense. Marshall the Marsh Tomp Official asks, if you find yourself out of a supply during a project, what do you do? It depends on the supply. If it's balsa wood or popsicle sticks, usually I just sub them out. It also depends on what you're trying to imitate. So if I'm trying to imitate stonework and I don't have foam, I usually pivot and just like do popsicle sticks. That kind of like trying to imitate ramshackle building architecture allows you to kind of, if you run out of something, you can switch on to a different type of material. But typically, if I run out of an expensive material, it's a good opportunity to try and use a cheaper one and see if you like it better. So, speaking of that, there was one time a couple years ago, I ran out of my pink foam, so I switched to foam core, and I decided to cut it into like little squares and then toss it into one of those like tins with rocks in it. And I discovered it was a really great opportunity to try some cobblestones in a new texture. And I thought it turned out really cool. Yeah, so hopefully that helps. If you have something specific though, let me know and I'll answer in the comments. Delta Kanji asks, what's the best advice to give to a beginner hobbyist? What's the best way to play Mordheim on a budget, now with 3D printing and all? You don't need a 3D printer. As much as a lot of people say, it's kind of a lot of an upfront cost that it's not a necessity, and there is a bit of a learning curve. Now, that being said, if you're looking to actually do 3D printing, I would recommend getting a Bamboo Labs A1 Mini. That's what I have. It's twice the size of those resin printers, and or the build plate, like the square you can print on, or the cube you can print out. It takes a little longer, but you can get the same quality if you get a 0.02 filament nozzle. So it's very, very, very good. I do have a Discord if you want help for specific problems. And then my Patreon, as most of you probably know by now, has completely free STLs. You don't have to become a patron. It's nice if you do, because then I can afford to do more, but it's completely optional. As far as like if you're trying to start a new game, I have where to start series for all the games that I'm playing. They're where to start, but they're mostly like where I started. So if you're looking into that, check those out. Those are really budget-friendly videos. As far as miniatures go, I probably wouldn't do anything other than like Reaper miniatures until you kind of figure out what you want, but I would assume if you're asking this, so plastic miniatures are better, but 3D printing miniatures is possible and cheaper once you get started. While answering your questions, I was able to finish this Mordheim Pirates Warband, or Undead Pirates Warband. I started this at Adepticon, and it was, it's gotta be my favorite thing. I really like the ghosts. They look really sick. I think this is probably my best work as far as miniatures go. So this is pretty exciting. And it looks like they'll be ready by the time my event comes, which is pretty cool. South of Heaven on Instagram, from Hivescum, asked me what my favorite video game is, or games in general. My favorite video game, I would say, oh man, it's a toss-up. I really love Batman Arkham Asylum. I would say that's probably, in my mind, the best video game creatively. It's like really concise. There's no fluff. Arkham City is pretty good, but I think the original's better. And then Fallout 3 is pretty good. That one's Yeah, Fallout 3 and Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That's a pretty close like tie for second place. So, good question. Thanks, Steve. Fabian on Instagram asks why I'm so cool. No joke, you're probably the first person to think so. So, let me know when you figure it out. Okay, so Morecar90 has a couple questions. What tips do you have for terrain storage, and and what should be taken into account somehow when creating boards themselves? So this is how I store my boards, and this is the main reason I like to have my boards fully integrated. In my experience with people traveling to my events and going to other events, boxes are where terrain really gets damaged. So having everything stored against the wall and hung on the wall as kind of like an art piece doesn't just look cool, it's actually pretty functional as well. And I do this with a French cleat. And it basically just uses gravity to hold it against the wall. Another thing I would try is this. This is my tower board, and I like this one because it's so compact. Yes, it's ginormous, but as far as like a 4x4 terrain board goes, this is much smaller than that. So I can get away with that on this board. It's a standalone thing because you kind of go around a 360 degree, like you can use it all the way around. So you don't have to build a full 4x4 board. You can get around that by slowing the game down, by having people climb up and down, and it'll make the board feel bigger. And it has the added benefit of being risky as well. So yeah, making players make some interesting choices throughout the game makes for a more playable and infinitely playable game overall, in my opinion. Other people might have a different one. So, all right. So where do I get my inspiration from? A lot of that comes from the rulebook itself. Mordheim, like as in general, has the best rulebook for inspiring you. If you are ever in a bind, you need to make terrain, but you don't know what it is, go all the way to the income section and then roll on the exploration chart. I call this roll for terrain, and you can just grab as many dice as you want. The more dice you roll, typically the more complex the build will be. So you can build anything from a well to a noble's villa. Like you could be building that for a whole year. So the Mordheim rulebook itself is amazing. Another really great inspiration is I love getting concept art books. So I love Pirates of the Caribbean. I have the Davy Jones key as a tattoo, and these books are just full of inspiration. I love looking through these, and not just that one. The Fallout 4 art book, and this one has really cool character designs and set pieces. Yeah, Batman Arkham Asylum. It's got to be my top 3 favorite game. So another one is Box Trolls. That one has really characterful silhouettes, and I think a good silhouette is stronger than the details. So start by getting the shape right, and then you can add as many details as you want as long as the shape is there. A great alternative asks, what is one of the biggest mistakes either you or you see others make when beginning making terrain. I would say that the biggest mistake I see people do is trying it the way a YouTuber's trying it, instead of finding their own way that they want to enjoy doing something. I know that I was in that trap of not wanting to place bricks individually, and I hate doing that. So I never tried making stonework ever. But then after I tried experimenting how I like to make bricks and finding my own way of doing it, it's got to be one of my favorite things to do, which is kind of crazy to think about. My favorite thing about YouTube is seeing how someone else did something that I did, because I probably had never thought of it that way before. And so that's a really good resource to kind of apply to what you're doing. Creative problem solving is the biggest tool that you or your kids or anyone will ever learn, and that's something AI will never learn. Just learn how to creative problem solve, because that's your biggest skill. No program can learn that. They can learn the theory of it, but they can't actually learn boots on the ground, like trial and error. So, all right. So I'm really liking the look of this. I think now that this is finished, it's probably time for me to do the channel update part of this video. I gotta take a break from weekly content, not because I don't like it and not because I'm burnt out, but my grandpa got diagnosed with Alzheimer's, and that's been rough on me. It's really put things into perspective, because for the last 4 years of doing YouTube, I've just been every event, school, family, I'm always got one eye on the clock, and I'm thinking, man, I need to get home to make a video. And this has been my whole life, and for the last 4 years, and I love it, but I missed out on some moments with some family, and he just doesn't recognize me anymore, so sorry if this is sad, but this is the reality of life, and I just need to take a break to recharge. I think it's going to be good for me personally to improve the look of the channel, maybe take some time to finish projects before I make a video. I'm still going to try to shoot for every other week as a post, but I'm not going to say that schedule on places, just in case I don't meet that deadline. But I would still, if you're curious, I'm aiming for a video every other week. I think my skill level on editing has plateaued, because if you don't know, the way it works right now is I get home after waking up at 3 a.m. to go to work. I get home at 1 p.m. and then I stay up till the video's edited. So sometimes that's 2 a.m. Sometimes the videos just comes together really nice, so it's just 10. But usually it's pretty late, and I don't have time, or I just don't have time to experiment. So in order to improve myself and a workflow, I just need to kind of rediscover it a little bit. And I think not titling a video at 2 a.m. And being able to work on a thumbnail and think about how I'm packaging the product, or the video, is going to be something that could help the channel. It might not, but I'm just going to experiment and see what happens. frequent updates on the Patreon still. I'm gonna be on Instagram. I still have my Discord. If you ever need me, reach out. I did post some new hand sculpted, hand cast windows on eBay, so if you're interested in that, go check it out. Yeah, they're like $9 for a set, and then you have full rights to recast them and do whatever you want. Yeah, so if you're disappointed, just letting you know I'm sad about this decision too, and I feel for you if you feel like you need these videos. I need these videos too, but also I need to take a break. But I'll be back, and I'll be back soon, and I'll probably have more done than you would expect if I were to guess. So thanks so much for watching. I won't see you next week, but I'll see you soon. Have a good one.